It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And we'll see the Broncos, leader at quarterback.
He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Broncos and the Packers on Monday Night Prime Time.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gautin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as they...
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally. Kept the ball clean and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
That's going to be caught downfield by Reed. Touchdown, Packers! Jaden Reed hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Manning going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. The Broncos at 4-3, a game over 500. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And he'll be taken down at the 34. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
On play action, it's Manning. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. attempt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and a couple.
Now Manning. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
Defense.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And the Broncos are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. A 10-play drive that time. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Packers offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. He had the touchdown pass on the opening drive. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes coming in, and he's right up there among the league's best. Now Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down. On play action, now Rodgers lets it fly deep for Cobb. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I want those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Play action, now it's Rodgers. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Can't give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Gets it up around the 22 and no further. Did show some power on the run, but not a whole lot of room.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Intended for number 30.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Ooh, with a juke. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And what a start he's off to. You don't want to start prorating numbers out for 4 quarters, but it's fair to say this defense is going to have to find some way to slow him down.
Short throw, he's got Kraft. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Offside, defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Throwing is Rodgers.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Rodgers again now. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. This defense for the Broncos, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find...
And it's a Packers touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers have taken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Manning. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Packers' 27-yard line.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Manning. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Now Manning. Touchdown Broncos. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point now by Boswell. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's in the midst of a very solid season, currently 2nd in the NFL in passing yards. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after getting up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On play action, now Manning. And this one is incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now they try the right side here. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 38. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Manning. That is caught. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Here's Manning to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Second and 10.
It's now second and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now Manning. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. 30 yards. And the Broncos have broken the tie.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 21-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. To throw, it's Rodgers. Same target. It's Jacobs again.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Now Rodgers.
That's to Kraft, the tight end.
And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 18. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb.
2nd down and 4.
Rodgers going to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Able to find his man, Kraft.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Rodgers to throw once more. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Manning going to throw. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw, it's Manning. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Manning to throw once more.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now Rodgers.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line.
Bates' kick is good.
And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin just outside Washington at Commanders Field in Landover, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest.
Range of a playoff spot at 5-4.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Throwing now is Manning. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. It's caught by Sanders.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now Manning again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Second and 8 coming from the 19.
a gain of 2. Brings up second and 8. At the Packers.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And running with power here. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Boswell for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense and receiver Jayden Reed headed onto the field. And he's been one of the main focal points of this unit throughout the season, no doubt. Currently ranked second in the NFL in terms of receptions by a wideout. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 13. 69 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. We saw the forecast snow, didn't know how it would affect this game. Right there, the offensive ball carrier showing it's not affecting him too much.
I just remember us walking into the booth from outside. We were going very slowly, weren't we, making sure we had our footing? The offensive player always has the advantage in this situation. He knows where he's going. For the defensive guys trying to react, much tougher.
And the Packers are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. Finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Now the try here for the point after. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
It's now second and 6 at the 31-yard line.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
2nd down and 8.
Rodgers now to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Cobb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. From the gun on third down, Rodgers.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle.
They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Here's Rodgers to throw.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 39. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Counter play with Jacobs. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. But I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Rodgers. He finds his man complete. It's Reed. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little game. So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. To throw is Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now Rodgers. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's to the pylon and incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Bates' kick is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to have the Broncos 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now Manning. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Gain of 9 brings up 2nd and a yard.
On play action, it's Manning. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
3rd down and 1.
To throw is Manning. That is caught, and he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Again, it's Manning. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Here they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 110 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now Manning. Throw right side, taken by Sanders. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at
the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Holding. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Working from the gun, Manning. Touchdown! From 13 yards out. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the conditions miserable for a kicker and a holder, but this one's good, and with it, they take the lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Once again, it's Jacobs. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 9.
This to Jacobs on the toss right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
121 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock, in a tight 1-point game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Now Manning.
To the sideline and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, You have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
Dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Here's second and a yard.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Pass complete. It's Adams.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Now Rodgers. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. To throw is Rodgers.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. Here's second down.
Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down.
Looking deep for Adams. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for Denver,
the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.